Desk will vote no on any plan to raise the debt ceiling if so-called revenue increases or tax hikes are involved. Joining us now, Congressman Tim Johnson of Illinois. Congressman, great to have you with us. If I may, let me begin, Congressman, by asking you, do you have any sense of whether or not there is an agreement or not between your leadership and the White House?
I don't believe so. And then certainly it hasn't been voiced to us, Lou. If there's an agreement, it's certainly something that's been very heavily guarded, and I don't believe that. I think that what we do know is what you pointed out a minute ago, and that is that there's one bill only, one piece of legislation, one concrete proposal, cut, cap, and balance, that's been passed. Everything else is generic. Everything else is conceptual. Everything else is no to all the above. This is a specific piece of legislation that cuts spending, caps future spending, and requires a balance for us to run our government the way you run your households in a very specific way. Imperfect, but it's a good piece of legislation. And all I've seen so far is no, we don't like that, or no, we like something else, but nothing more than obstructionism. And at this point, I don't think there is an agreement. I think the only thing that's before the Congress is that specific piece of legislation.
Congressman, when you said, is it perfect? No, and I have to say, I'm shocked because I'm so used to perfect legislation originating on Capitol Hill from both the House and the Senate. If in fact there is any progress here between the House leadership and the President, and if there are forgive me, I almost said tax hikes, Congressman, I've got to restrain myself. I meant revenue increases. You will not support it in any form?
Unless it's accompanied with major reforms, controls for now and the future, a balance, all of which apparently the administration and the Senate majority have rejected, I won't support it. There's certainly, and nobody says absolutely no to anything, but I think the fundamental concept is we are strangling in America in our debt. We are on a crash course with disaster, and if we don't fundamentally change the direction we're headed, we're going to reach that point of disaster sooner rather than later. And I'm not going to be a part of driving the ship to disaster.
The warnings from the two principal credit rating agencies, Standard & Poor's and Moody's, is that providing any kind of, let me put it this way, momentum for you and for other congressmen to move on this sooner perhaps than you might have?
Sure, Lou. We're concerned about that. But I think the bigger picture is what we're doing to the economic future of America. And I think that we can marry sound fiscal policy with reasonableness, and I think that we can get to our objective. But so far, all we've seen from those who oppose what we're trying to do is, we don't like what you're doing. We have our own generic proposal, but we're not going to tell you what it is. We want to make cuts too, but we're not going to tell you what they are. We want to balance the budget, but we won't vote for this one. All we've seen is a continual level of negativism, and I believe that we've got to turn the direction around, or, as I said, Lou, we're headed for an absolute disaster.
Congressman Tim Johnson, thanks for being with us.
Thank you for letting me be here.